Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Scottish Dark. I'm so glad you found us. Here, we delve into the shadows of Scotland's past, uncovering stories of mystery, folklore, and the supernatural that linger in its ancient castles and misty glens. If you have a passion for history with a spine-chilling twist, you're in exactly the right place. We'll be exploring everything from ghostly apparitions to unsolved historical enigmas. To make sure you don't miss a single eerie adventure, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow. And if you enjoy what you see, give us a like, share it with a friend who loves a good mystery, and drop a comment to let us know what you think. Now, let's step into the darkness together. Thanks for watching. There are places in Scotland where silence feels deliberate, not empty, but watchful, where the land does not forget, even when centuries have passed. Glencoe is one of those places. A deep valley carved by ice, shadowed by steep mountains that rise suddenly and close in from all sides. It is beautiful in a way that feels stern rather than welcoming, the kind of beauty that demands respect. What happened here was not sudden, it was not chaotic, and it was not an accident. This is the story of how trust was weaponized, and how a glen was taught to remember betrayal. This is the Massacre of Glencoe. By the late 1600s, the Scottish Highlands were under constant pressure. Clan loyalties still defined daily life, but the authority of the crown was tightening. Old systems were being replaced by distant rule. The Highlands were seen by many in government as unruly, difficult, resistant to control. To the clans, loyalty was personal. To the crown, loyalty was political. These two ideas were already colliding long before Glencoe. Clan MacDonald of Glencoe lived at the heart of the valley. Life was hard, but it was known. Families depended on one another to survive brutal winters, poor harvests, and isolation. Hospitality was sacred. A traveler, even an enemy, was to be fed and sheltered. This was not kindness. It was law. Breaking it meant dishonor that could stain a clan for generations. It was this law that would seal their fate. In 1688, King James VII was overthrown. William of Orange took the throne, and Scotland was uneasy. Many Highland clans were suspected of Jacobite sympathies. To secure control, William issued a demand. All Highland clan chiefs must swear an oath of allegiance by January 1st, 1692. Failing to do so would be considered rebellion. On paper, the order was simple. In reality, it was not. The chief of Clan MacDonald of Glencoe, Alistair MacLean, set out to swear the oath. The journey was long. Winter conditions were severe. Roads were barely passable. When he arrived, he was told he was in the wrong place. He traveled again. Delayed by weather. Delayed by bureaucracy. When he finally swore the oath, it was 5 days late. MacLean believed the effort mattered. That intention would be considered. It was not. While MacLean returned home believing the matter settled, paperwork moved quietly through government offices. Officials debated examples, punishment, deterrence. Glencoe was chosen, not because it was the worst offender, but because it was vulnerable. A message was going to be sent. In late January 1692, soldiers arrived in Glencoe under the command of Captain Robert Campbell of Glenlyon. They did not arrive with weapons raised. They arrived asking for shelter. For nearly 2 weeks, the soldiers lived among the MacDonalds. They were fed, housed, protected from the winter. They learned the layout of homes, the sleeping places, the routines. Captain Campbell himself was a distant relative by marriage. This made the hospitality feel not just proper, but safe. All the while, sealed orders waited. The command was explicit: fall upon the rebels, and put all to the sword under 70. No warning, no prisoners, no exceptions. This was not battlefield violence, it was execution. In the early hours of February 13th, 1692, Glencoe was asleep. Then the shooting began. Men were killed in their beds. Some tried to fight back with whatever they could reach. Others were shot as they fled their homes. Women and children ran into the snow, chased by flames and gunfire. In the darkness, many lost their way. Some hid in the mountains, where exposure finished what soldiers had begun. Captain Campbell oversaw the operation. The men who had shared food and fires now carried out the killings. At least 38 people were murdered directly. Many more died in the days that followed, frozen, starved, or injured beyond help. Homes were burned, livestock slaughtered. The glen was left stripped of life. When news spread, outrage followed, not because clans had been attacked, but because hospitality had been violated. This crossed a line even in violent times. An inquiry was eventually held. Responsibility was blurred. Blame was passed upward, and sideways, then quietly forgotten. No true justice followed. Glencoe never truly recovered. Families carried the story forward. The betrayal became part of identity, part a lace. Today, visitors walk the valley, often unaware of what happened. But locals speak of a feeling, something heavy, something unfinished. The land remembers what paperwork erased. Glencoe was not destroyed by war. It was destroyed by trust. And history rarely forgives those who use trust as a weapon. Thank you for listening. This has been Scottish Dark. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I am ever so grateful. Comment your thoughts below. Is there anything you would like me to cover? See you next time.